Hey guys,
Hi.
welcome back to another episode of Fact
Fact
or
or
Fiction
Fiction
Friday.
Friday.
So, this is going to be the 20th episode.
High
So, this is
five.
the end of season
Season
one.
one. Mhm.
So, I'm Brandon,
I'm Shanae.
and we have a good one for you. This is exciting.
Yep.
Episode
Season
20.
finale.
Yep.
Cannot believe we are about to do our 20th episode of Fact or Fiction Friday. This
Yep.
is crazy. Just thinking about all the stories we've done, and now we're here. This is the goal that we set for season one, 20 episodes.
Yep, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun, guys.
Yep. All right, so get started with this story. So this is a story of a self-proclaimed psychic who claimed to be having psychic visions at the age of 5. She was not the only one of her family to have these abilities. Her uncle and her were having psychic abilities, as well as her grandmother, who has helped her develop this gift.
Yeah. So she was born in the Midwest, so America, in the 1930s. Her dad worked several jobs over the years, and her family were made up of followers of several different religions. She was raised Catholic.
All right, she started giving psychic readings in her 40s via telephone, and in the 70s that was definitely a landline and wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
In the 80s, she founded her own church. In addition to the church, she authored around 40 books, and she had 2 businesses that were worth millions.
All right, so now in the 90s, she begins to find herself some notoriety and fame as a psychic. She began to work with police agencies, telling them what happened to missing cases they were working. She also spoke with families of missing people over the radio and on TV, via talk shows at the time. She would appear on talk shows frequently, speaking to families and telling them what happened to their loved ones, but she was not accurate at all.
Yeah. So one of the occasions she claimed a missing 6-year-old was sold into slavery in Japan, but was later discovered that a man in her hometown took her and was convicted of her murder, which took place in the hometown, which was in America, not Japan.
Again, she predicted that a missing young lady from San Diego was alive and working as a dancer in Hollywood, but in reality, her remains were later found in San Diego.
Another time, she spoke to a family and told her that her missing loved one was alive, but it was discovered that she was not, and she was killed by a family member who was present at the show at the time when she made that claim.
She told the family that their loved one was killed, and in reality, he was found in his truck underwater where he drowned, and his death was an accident and wasn't ruled a homicide at all.
Yeah, she was catching all kind of L's just out here just telling people anything.
Yeah.
Even though she was always wrong, she was still a very popular psychic, and she had a following who believed in her. At one point, the waiting list to get over the phone reading was about 4 years. One of her most famous predictions was that she would die at the age of 88, but instead she died at the age of 77, proving she was always wrong. I mean, she was still old, so I guess she was right at some point.
All right, guys. So we told you guys a story about a popular psychic who was born in the 1930s. She found fame in the 90s speaking to grieving families on talk shows.
Taking advantage of people.
She was proved to be wrong time and time again, but she continued to sell books and make lots of money. She founded her own church that was, something else that she did. And she passed away before she predicted she would. All right, so what do you guys think about this story?
Yeah.
Do you think this story about this psychic who was never right, you think this was fact or fiction?
Yep. Comment below Let us know what you think about this one.
Yep. All right, guys. So our season finale for episode number 20
is Fact. This was the story of Sylvia Brown, born October 19th, 1936 in Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, she thought she was a psychic. She was that psychic who was on the Montel Williams show at least once a week. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch that all the time. Montel Williams with bald head.
I remember seeing Sylvia Brown on there all the time
too. Yeah. She was proven wrong time and time again, but back then the internet wasn't really a thing, and neither was cancel culture. So she continued to lie and thrive. I wish I could be just making up stuff, getting paid like that, just not knowing what I'm talking about in my job.
I wouldn't feel right.
I wouldn't feel right, but I mean, you know, I'm getting paid to do so. People just going to take it. Why not? You know, whatever. When she worked as a psychic and helping the detective, she was no help at all, really. She would make very vague predictions. Another famous wrong prediction was in regards to a kidnapping survivor, Amanda Berry, when she flat out told her mom, "Honey, she's not alive." That's how she said it, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. When in reality, she was held captive with 2 other missing girls with a horrible man, and they all eventually escaped, but that was long after Amanda's mom had passed away. Mm-hmm. She was a pretty horrible person, but there's one prediction she made that recently resurfaced. In one of her books, she made the prediction that...
And I quote, "In and around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Almost more baffling than the illness itself would be that the fact that it will suddenly vanish as quickly as it arrived, attacking again 10 years later, and then disappear completely." End quote.
To be fair, it kind of sounds familiar. It sounds a little familiar to me, but you know.
So yeah, that's been making its rounds on Twitter and things like that, saying, did Sylvia actually predict something? So what do you guys think? Do you think she was right? Or do you think that this kind of thing happens all the time? Like we had SARS, we had other illnesses that are similar to what we're dealing with now. Or do you think, hey, maybe she was actually right this time?
I mean, you can... If you predict a lot of stuff, at some point you gotta be right at least once. Maybe this is that one time.
I don't know. She had a lot of things proven to be wrong.
Because allegedly it left. Maybe she was wrong about the 10 years. Maybe it just came right back.
Or maybe we won't really know until 2030. All right, guys. So this one was a little fun. We just wanted to tell you about this bad psychic. We also still want you to guys comment below how you like the series, different things that you like about it and things that we can improve on. We've been taking your suggestions. We've changed our intro. Yeah. We're working on doing things a little differently in season 2, maybe even changing our background. So we're just trying to figure out some things, but we are going to still continue with this series. We haven't heard anyone say they hated it, so we're going to keep going. We love it. So
Yep.
Also, we're going to do a season recap. So why don't you guys comment below what your favorite episode was, and that way we can say that in our next video when we recap season 1. We're going to go through every episode, and we're gonna just say a few things, maybe things that didn't make it into the video, say our thoughts, and so spoiler alert, so guys, go ahead and catch up before we post that video. So
yep. Also check out our other videos, Shanae Hauls It All, as well as Brandon Cooks It All. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe.
Bye.